actually record this despite saying in the description of the last video I wasn't going to because I thought it'd be late, but I decided to anyway, and it will be late. It is already late. At the time of writing this, it was also just recently announced that anything posted to Facebook and Instagram is going to be used for generative AI, and it's almost impossible, if not just straight up impossible, to opt out of it. I'd recommend to not post there anymore. I probably still will. If you post anywhere online, I just recommend glazing it and night shading it, even if it isn't anything by Meta, though instead I just recommend Artful because it's what I personally have been using for over a year now, and it doesn't allow AI or NFTs. Enough AI talk, because that's not what this video is about, and it's not why you're here. The two characters in this are my characters Cassin, he, they, and Nori, he, him. In the last video, I talked about them quite a bit, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much, so why not start with how they met? Just note, I'm not a writer, and their story has not fully been thought through. The sun had set, and everything was lit by the moon. All was quiet, except the wind blowing through the trees, the river, and the people yelling.
Stop that bird! How could you let them get away?
What is going on over there? Nori whispered, while holding himself up over the riverbank and tilting his head to see through his bangs, trying to find the source of the sound before giving up and going back to leaning against the surface, accidentally knocking the bracelet he had taken off into the water before grabbing it and setting it back down next to him. Not too long after, the voices had slowly died out, and whatever they were chasing seemed to have gotten away. I should probably go. It isn't safe to be here anymore, he thought, and went to leave when a shadow had quickly flown over him and landed in front of the trees. As fast as he could, Nori ducked under the water and swam away. But then began to think, what was that? Why was that what they were chasing? Why were they chasing them? Is it even safe to be in the water? Is it safe to be up there? Is it safe anywhere? What if it heard me? The curiosity getting the best of Nori, he poked his head out of the water and looked up to see a figure dressed in dark clothes, gloves that had retractable claws at the end, and wings that were messed up, having feathers out of place and some even falling out, topped off by a mask that made Nori's face go more pale than normal. It was scratched up and in the shape of a skull, one too ambiguous to know what it was of, with a wilting flower on one side and two holes with ripped thread on the edges where the eyes should be, as if cloth was once there but has since been torn out. It was a mask only worn by those with the title of hero. But through those holes, Nori could see piercing yellow eyes staring down at him. Taking a break from that, fun fact, this drawing actually took me 74 hours. Nori originally had blue hair but has been bleached so much that it just grows out white now, and he refuses to cut his hair and is doing whatever he can to keep the blue part of it. In the video, it's kind of hard to see, but the ends of each limb is all turning white because of the bleaching. Each of my characters have a flower or plants and a color that represent them. For Nori, his color is pink and his plants are a lily pad and a hyacinth. His last name is also Hyacinth. When he first got his name, two of my enemy friends said his nickname should be something like Norcinth or Noricinth. Then someone else called Cassin Casserole, so those are their nicknames, except not really. Sorry to that person who called Cassin Casserole. But more about the art. I never actually realized how often I moved the canvas until I started recording, because I have to speed it up a lot so that way the videos aren't hours long, which results in the screen spinning every other second, which I usually cut out so I don't make people sick. If it's not spinning, then it just moves really quickly in and out, because I have to zoom out a lot to see how it looks from afar since I'm usually zoomed in to get all the small details. Editing Ghost really hates Artist Ghost for that. Remember to use references. I included at least one clip at some point showing one of the references I use because so many people think it's cheating even though it's not, and I think it should be more normalized to use references. References are very important to use because even if you think you know what something looks like, there's a pretty good chance you're forgetting one of the details in it. I should use references more often because each time I use them, they always end up a lot better than if I don't, but for some reason I just don't. Probably because I'm lazy and it's hard to find references for some things, especially poses. I realize this isn't fully about the art, but I don't know what's going on screen as you hear this, so it's hard to know exactly what to talk about. In this drawing, I was messing around with the colors a lot more than I usually do because I always feel like they're too desaturated and just dull because I really like vibrant things. So I was trying to add more vibrant colors in the shading, and then to give it a more semi-realistic look, I added greens and blues to the skin. I wanted to add a lot of small details in this so there's something to see almost no matter where you look. In the background, some of the things I added were Hatsune Miku, Junko, Enoshima, and Monokuma, Freddy, Bonnie, Chika, and a few other things. I also kept messing with the colors in the background because I wanted them to look like a rainbow but didn't know how yellowish or greenish I should make the land part of it, so throughout the video you might actually see that changing. But break over, back to the story. What is Amuro doing all the way out here? Nori panicked, waving his arms around trying to think of an excuse. I was just watching the sunset and was about to leave, but then I realized I forgot something. Every movement he made was being closely watched by the figure. And I'm sure you had a real great view here. They swung their arms out to both sides, gesturing to the trees that surrounded them, blocking any clear view of the sky. Why are you really here? He asked sternly. Do I need a reason? It's a public river. I'm allowed to be here. Nori replied, now annoyed. Usually you wouldn't, but given the time and your lame attempt at an excuse, you do. So I'll ask you one more time. Why are you here? This time they asked him as if it was a statement, not a question, while extending the claws from their gloves. Nori's eyes widened as he stared at the sharp claws. What's right from those could tear me apart, Nori thought. After a moment, he responded, I just wanted a break from everything and I thought I'd be able to get peace and quiet here. But I guess I was wrong. He sighed and crossed his arms, feeling defeated. I see. And you said you forgot something? My bracelet. The one who claims to be a hero looked down where Nori was pointing to see a shiny bracelet next to them. Their pupils dilated before he quickly turned away and took a step back. Nori swam up and grabbed the bracelet and put it back on, questioning their weird behavior, before swimming a bit backwards to keep a distance between the two of them. I apologize for disturbing your peace then, the so-called hero stated awkwardly. Sure you are. Nori rolled his eyes, as if you heroes don't ruin the peace wherever you go already. Okay, I don't know how you got that impression, but we do not do that. Oh, and now you're lying! Which isn't shocking. I am not lying. What have I done that deserves this? You mean, aside from threatening me, ruining our lives, killing people? Time to talk about Casson now. I really hate drawing his wings, especially rendering them, which is weird because coincidentally, in their world, any winged person is actually able to hide their wings, and it gets replaced by a tattoo on their back. Funny enough, months after I thought of that, I saw a story on Webtoon that had just become an original named Realta, which actually has something pretty similar, but instead of their wings just going on their back, it also wraps around their arms, which I think is a cool idea, but I'm probably not going to use it because I feel like that's stealing at that point. So for now, the tattoos are just staying on their backs. Casson is always smiling even if they aren't happy, and Nori is just happy almost always. Casson's last name is Pinion, and both their first and last name are based on birds. Their color is red and their flowers are something I can't pronounce, which is also known as the green bird flower and blazing stars, aka gay feather. Neither of those are tattoos on him, which they probably should be, but I don't think how they look actually fit his design. But then again, Nori doesn't have a hyacinth on him, so it's fine. For now. Ordering the water was the hardest part for me because no matter what I tried, it just didn't look right. I tried looking up so many references of oceans and beaches and just water in general to get an idea of how to draw it, and none of it helped. But then I went on Pinterest and I saw what was probably still in probably ship art of Elhaitham, and Kabe from Genshin Impact in water. I also found a tutorial of how to draw water, but not in an ocean way, which was also probably stolen, so I don't know the actual artist, but when I'm editing this, if I find it, I'll put it up now on screen. I followed the tutorial somewhat, but I also changed it a bit. So what I did instead was I made the outlines of where I wanted the water to be, kind of in the shape I wanted them to be in, then lowered the opacity. Then on a new layer, I used dark brown and gray and put them around the edges of the bubbles or splashes or whatever you want to call them. Then took colors from around the water and put them inside it. And then I smudged them. Finally, I added white lines messily around those, making sure they weren't all touching, and was done. Those were probably the easiest part of the entire thing. And now for the final time, back to the story. What do you mean killing people? I am a hero. It is my job to save people. I do not kill people. Yes, you do. All of you heroes do. Even if it's not directly, you kill us more people every single day. And just because it's your job to save people does not mean that's what you're doing. There are absolutely no heroes that would do that. We do not kill anyone. I don't know what's going on with you murder people, but it is not because of us heroes. It is because of you heroes. Your stupid hero facilities are constantly dumping your trash into our waters. There's also all that strange liquid that gets poured in directly from your buildings that has caused so many people that I know to die. You can't say it's not because of you when I watch it happen all the time. I don't know what you're talking about, but I know for an absolute fact none of that is true. And how do you know? Because it's our job to— don't say it's your job to save people. Give an actual reason that proves me wrong. I know the head of the company personally, and I know they would never allow stuff like that to happen. You're being lied to. If you don't believe me, then look for yourself. Go look at how bad our waters are. The only one lying to me is you. They have shown us so many pictures of the oceans and rivers, and they are fine. If anything, we have helped clean them, not make them worse. You're seriously gonna leave pictures over someone that actually lives underwater? They wouldn't lie to me. They would, and they did. If you just follow this river stream outside of the city, you would see that I'm telling the truth. I can't do that. It would be going against them, and I will not be a villain. Silence followed as both people tried to think of what to say when Nori came up with an idea. You like shiny things, don't you? What? No? Why would you think that? They replied, obviously lying. How about this? You come back here again tomorrow night at the same time and actually listen to me. And if you find out I'm right, then help save us. And I'll give you this. Nori held up a necklace with shiny red crystals at the ends. The bird clenched their fists and turned away before hesitantly answering. Deal.
Walk in the shadowland, nobody's innocent. Hand to mouth, we live like demons. Stuck in the phantom zone, lost in a thunderdome. Twilight ruled the day. We'll be rising higher.